welcome back to season 2 of the Boss Queens with Voices podcast. I'm your host, the Advice Queen. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about self-respect. Yeah, self-respect. So, firstly, I just wanted to apologize that I didn't let you guys know that I was going away for a few weeks. I was supposed to be doing my podcast while I went away, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to, keep to that commitment. So yeah, first of all, I just wanted to send out my apologies to all the people that listen to me every week that might have been thinking, where the hell has she gone? So guys, yeah, I'm back this week, and as I said, we're going to be talking about self-respect. So the first point that I wanted to make, guys, was I'm quite sick to death of seeing women running around demanding respect and, not even just demanding respect, expecting to be respected when they're not putting out anything into the universe to receive that respect, if that makes sense. Like, people should naturally respect people, but we know that this is not the case. We are human beings. We're all real human beings. Well, I hope so. And, we're not just, born and people just respect us automatically. Respect is something that is earned, it's not something that you can go around corners to receive. It's not something that you can demand. You can't buy it, you can't beg for it. Self-respect starts with you, so it starts the moment you take a conscious decision to be your true authentic self and honor your very being. Some people, they're not living in their true self, their true authentic self. So you can't even be mad to say that, there's so many women walking around. You can't be mad, but I'm saying people are just not even living as their true selves, their true identities. So first of all, there is where majority of the lack of self-respect comes from. And I did put down a few points that I wanted to cover, mainly, just to sort of show sisters that respect starts with you. It's not something that you can go out a door, you can go out a road, you can demand from people. You can't go, screaming and shouting at people that they must respect you. Respect starts with yourself, And what I've noticed that there's so many females, black females, that have no respect for their own very being, but in turn they're demanding this respect from the rest of the world. And, I find it quite mad in a sense, because when you're an outsider looking into your own community. When I say outsider, you're just stood on the outskirts and you're looking in at the madness that's going on in your community, right? The first thing that is very, 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 prevalent is that we don't even respect ourselves. We don't respect ourselves. We're running around, assuming all these identities, doing the most, basically, to, be everything else but our own selves. And it is quite ridiculous, to be quite honest. It is, every day we're showing up as someone else, evading our own very identity, and then expecting to get, not even just expecting, demanding respect from, wider society, peers, partners, that kind of thing, so we have to get back, go back to basics, go back to the beginning, and start to evaluate ourselves, start to look deep within ourselves, wait a minute, ask yourself that question, am I showing myself respect? Do I respect myself? And as I said, there was a few pointers that I thought about myself that I was like, well, if every day, we're trying to be what we're not, if every day, we're assuming all these different identities from, a vast amount of people, you know, the way that we do our hair, our makeup, the fake bodies, the dressing, everything that is being emulated in the streets in our community is fake. Do you understand what I mean? Everything is fake. Everybody is coming from a fake perspective. Nobody is trying to be their real self. You understand? So, if you're not being your real self, how can I respect you? Or how can anybody else respect you when you're not showing up as your real, true, authentic self? Do you understand? Am I making sense? Just let me know if you're with me. Because I just don't understand how somebody can respect something that I genuinely don't know what or who you are. So how do I respect you? Do you understand? You might be getting respect on the surface. You understand what I'm saying? But true respect, as in respecting who you are, respecting your identity, respecting, people respecting you as a black female. I don't think that I think that's like totally gone out of the window because, as I said, we don't even know who we are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how can people? Am I making sense? Like, how can somebody? Would you go on the street and respect something that you or someone that you couldn't even identify with, in a sense that, who are you? What are you? Do you understand what I mean? Every day you're getting up portraying this different image, like one day you're European, tomorrow you're maybe African, the next day, you probably got in long Peruvian hair. Like, it's just not making sense. And as I said, people respect people that respect themselves, yeah? Give myself as a perfect example. I'm not going to say everybody respects me, but I would say 90% of the people that I encounter in my life do show me respect. And, as I said, that's something that I've always looked at and always thought to myself, like, so why do people treat me this kind of way, in a sense? Especially like men. And then, I'm not talking about just like being in relationships. I'm just talking about overall general. People sort of talk to me in a different kind of way. They deal with me in a different kind of way. I don't really have, what would you call it? I don't really have, like, men just tend to, like, have a different kind of respect for me than I see them have for other females. And that's not me bigging up my chest. This is just an observation. Like, why is this? Why is it that you might have a certain sort of respect for me, but you have no respect for, somebody that's, in a similar position than me, or somebody that's from the same environment than me. And as I said, it's something that I've always thought about. It's not just something that I thought about today. And I just came to the conclusion that is because I respect myself, and I've not always had boundaries when it came to, like, friends and, them kind of things, as I've spoken about in my previous episode. But when it came to, like, men, I've always sort of, like, had boundaries, like what I will and what I won't accept from a man. And, how I the way that, men or people can speak to me. There's certain things that I will tolerate and there's certain things that I won't tolerate. So, as I said, like, it's always been something that I've wondered about. Like, why does so-and-so show me so much respect, but yet still he's kind of, like, disrespectful to so-and-so? Or, do you understand what I mean? Or why do I walk into a room and straight away I command the respect of that room, yet still somebody in my peer group, or somebody in the same community environment as me, could walk into that same room and they have they command no respect? What is that? Why is that? And I just kind of, like, came to the simple conclusion that a lot of that is obviously, from growing up, people kind of, like, saw that I wasn't loose. As I said, I had a certain amount of respect for myself. Yeah, I did, of my fair share of, things that shouldn't have been done or could have been done in a different way, whatever you want to call it. But for the majority of the time, I think that I always sort of had that self-respect for myself, and I think that came from also coming from from my family background, never wanting to sort of disgrace my family or bring shame to the name of the family and that kind of thing. So I was always mindful of what I did, and I was also kind of aware of what I was doing. And also, in speaking about respect, again, respect is something that's earned, and it's also something that you should give freely. You should naturally just respect people for being human beings. There are going to be occasions where people lose that respect, or you just genuinely don't feel like those people deserve you understand what I'm saying, for you to put them on a pedestal, or respect them in a certain kind of way, innit, because they haven't earned that respect. You understand what I mean? But as I said, you should naturally just go out and try to have a little bit of respect for the people in your community, in your environment. But again, as I said, respect is something that is earned, and I feel like the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you dress. I mean, I've had this debate with people before about the way that women dress, and what are you portraying out there? What are you looking like? If you're dressing, people are gonna might misconstrue what I'm gonna say, but you have some females that dress a certain way. You behave a certain way. You know. Back in the days, in our parents' or our grandparents' days, those women would have been looked on as borderline prostitutes. Nobody come for me, because I'm speaking truth right now, innit? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to cultivate respect, and the only way we're gonna do that is by starting to respect ourselves. So again, let me go to the dressing point. The way that a lot of the females are dressing nowadays is just provocative. So it's like being on the road and then a dog seeing a bone. You can't train that dog that he mustn't run, because a dog likes bones. So when a dog sees bones, naturally he's gonna get excited and try to run after those bones and bite them up and do all sorts of kind of things to them. So in a sense, it's the same thing, innit? Like, you can't be out every day dressing a certain way, and on being provocative. Because guys, you know what I'm talking about, because you can dress sexy. No one ain't saying that there's a problem with anybody dressing sexy. There's no problem. I dress sexy when I'm ready. The point I'm trying to make is just being damn right most of the time naked and just walking up and down on the street. If you want to go party and you want to wear your X-rated clothes or whatever, that's your business. I don't really care. But it's how you carry yourself when you're in those set of clothes, if that makes sense. And the attitude that comes with, the way that you're dressed. I could go out tomorrow and dress sexy, half naked. I won't dress half naked, but, revealing whatsoever. And I'm guaranteeing you that, I will have people would approach me different. No one ain't gonna approach me in a certain way. Like, they might try and, want to come and touch or any of that shit. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a different kind of. And as I said, these are the things that I look at, innit? These are the things that I should have been a psychologist, really and truly, not tooting my own trumpet, but I should have. But these are the kind of things that I look at on a daily basis, innit? Like, why can I go out, maybe wearing a revealing outfit, and, people are going to tell me you look sexy, you look hot, you look this, but nobody's going to try to touch, and nobody's going to try to pass their place. Do you understand? But then I could be out of a pair that, could be equally dressed as sexy as myself and, all the rest of it. But it's going to be a different vibe. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it could all even lead to an argument because, people might approach her in a way that she feels disrespected, or people might try to touch her in certain ways that she feels disrespected. So that's the point that I'm making, innit? Like, most of the time we're not helping ourselves. Yeah, we're demanding respect, but we're not helping ourselves in the sense of, you know, basically respecting yourself first, innit? Because you have to respect yourself first, innit? You have to have boundaries, and you have to know that there's things that you won't tolerate. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you mark your, you make your mark in life, innit? I've always been the way that I used to be a tomboy. That could be why I kind of like, I don't know, could be why men kind of like deal with me on a different level, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've never really been, I only probably started like, wearing certain clothes and that when I was like in my 30s and that kind of thing. So I've always kind of like grown up as a serious kind of like headstrong female. So I'm not going to say that no one's ever tried to disrespect me or anything like that. Yeah, people have tried to disrespect me, but it's never, how can I explain it? It's never been on a level where you're kind of like, just disrespecting me because I'm a female or I'm a black female or I'm loose or that kind of thing. We might just had a disagreement over, which people do every day, but, let me not go too far off topic anyway. So, yeah, back to like the self-respecting yourself and, again, talking about the dressing, your hair, everything that you're portraying, that most of us are portraying, is like, you're portraying yourself as an object, innit? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're sexually objectifying yourself. Is that a right word to use? So maybe not, but anyway, I guess you guys know what I mean. You're putting yourself out there as a. You might be saying, yeah, you're liberated and you want to feel sexy and all the rest of it. Nothing ain't wrong, but as I said, it's how you're putting yourself out there. It's not so much what you wear, what you say, what you do, and all the rest of it. It's how you respect yourself, innit? Do you understand what I mean? And I just don't feel like we as black women, I don't feel like we can 100% say that we respect ourselves when we're still out here trying to be something other than ourselves. Does that make sense? Do you understand? It's just crazy. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you try to be everything else but yourself, but then you say, why don't people respect me? Why don't I have a voice? Why don't I have a stand in the community? Why is anyone going to take you seriously? Please, sisters, like, be honest. Why is anybody going to take us seriously when, we just all we're out here doing is just mimicking every other culture under the sun and disowning our own every single day, and then we expect people to respect us? I don't really get it, Like, it's just like a form of madness. Like, you don't know who you are, and even if you do know, well, I won't even say even if you do know who you are, 'cause I feel like the moment you know who you are, they say he that knows better does better, and I truly believe that saying, because that's something that's ringing true for myself every day. So I feel like a lot of people are just in ignorance, you get what I mean? And that ignorance is just because you choose to stay uneducated. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because there's no way that you can be out here trying to get or demand respect from people that do not look like you, and even people that do look like you, when you're just like trying to be everybody else. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're not embracing your own true identity no time of the week. It's not even like to say, right, like 5 days of the week, you're your own true, identity, authentic self, and then on a weekend, you want to go out with your girls and you dress up and, you become, a whole, you understand what I'm saying? No, you're assuming a different personality every single day. You're not being your true self. You probably don't even know who you are, in the sense of, who am I? What do I actually like? Do you understand what I'm saying? But then you're demanding that people respect you. Like, please make it make sense to me, And then within that context, Yeah, because that context that I'm speaking about, that is just like speaking about like boundaries and how you carry yourself and how you speak and all them kind of things. But let's just go a bit further and let's talk about these females, like, you know, the females. I mean, I love all my sisters, you know, this is crazy. Like, I actually do have like love for all my black sisters. But this shit is getting out of hand. Like, you've got now a next set of sisters now that are doing this, you know, this sleeping around thing like they're man them. Like, you know, like, you know, like how the man, you know, like how men move, like, you know, you've got women that are moving like they are men right now. Women that are talking about, yeah, I'm just gonna sleep with him, collect his money, and that's it. Like, do you understand that you're low key prostituting out yourself? Do you understand that? I just want to know if you don't understand this. Because when you're there like shouting every day that, yeah, men ain't shit, they got no loyalty, no respect. But then in the same breath, you're sleeping with how many men for the 1 year? How many men for the 1 month? Like, you're not giving your body time to heal in between relationships. You're just jumping from partner to partner in the same community most of the time. When I say the same community, we're all in the same damn community. Because whether you live in South London, you live in East London, West London, whatever the case is, whether you live in Jamaica, you live in America, you live in Canada, the point is that we're all in the same community. And most of the time, everybody in those communities are tied together. So you'll find that even if you're overseas, in a different country, once you're in that sort of, because we're kind of like talking about the girls in the dancehall fraternity, you know, the road girls in it, and we're talking about black women in on a whole. But my niche that I talk about is the community that I come from, and the community that I come from is not from, you know, middle class, working class. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I come from the streets. That's where I come from. So when I'm speaking, I don't want no one to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm speaking about the people from where I come from. I don't give a, I'm not just I don't care, I do care. I care about all my sisters. But my fight, or my plight, I should say, is not about, you know, the sisters, them, that, you know, are doing the right thing. I'm talking about people that in the community that I come from that are every day jumping up saying that men ain't shit, you know, having all these kids, you know. I'm not Angel. I've been here, done most of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But these are the people that I'm trying to wake up and address, and, you know, let them just look at, just listen to certain things that I'm saying and just think about shit. Do you understand? Like, how do you expect a man to respect you when you were sleeping with him 2 days, 3 weeks, 6 months ago? Now you're sleeping with his brethren. Now you're sleeping with the same person from the same community as him. Sometimes we don't even, as women, don't give ourselves time, our body time to heal, you know? And it's just mad because I really just don't get it. Like, I see it every day, innit? Like, wait a minute, you was with John yesterday. Now you're with Timothy, but John and Timothy drink and smoke together. Tom and Timothy work together. So how do you expect Timothy to respect you now? And then make matters worse, when you've left John and Timothy, you're now talking to Edward, and they're all in the same. Why am I using all these Timothy Edwards names? I can't. I didn't want to call that other name just in case they're actually community member names and people might think I'm talking about them. But yeah, like, it's just mad. Like, I don't get it. You know, you can't. Women, let me just say this again. Let me say it plain and straight. You cannot do as a man and still be a woman. You can't. You can't be sleeping around the whole community, taking every Tom, Dick and Harry, and then expect that people are going to respect you. Whether it's man, woman or child, no one's going to respect your ass. No one's going to respect you. No one is going to respect you because you're not respecting yourself at this point. Do you understand? You're not respecting yourself. So how are you demanding respect from people when you're not respecting yourself? Come on, people, man. Let's wake up. You know? How can we demand society to take us seriously? How can we have a voice? How can we have a stand if we don't even have our own identity? Come on, sisters. Like, what's going on? Like, are you not fed up? I'm fed up. This is why I'm doing this. I'm fed up. I am fed up of, people not taking me serious as a black woman. I'm fed up of it. And I think that majority of my sisters out there are fed up of it as well. Do you understand? So we need to start, doing and making steps towards change. You understand? We need to start respecting ourselves, setting boundaries, not allowing ourselves to fall by the wayside, not allowing ourselves to be trampled upon. Do you understand? Not giving away ourselves to every Tom, Dick and Harry, and then, encountering all these different spiritual energies and then wondering why we're kind of like screwed up in the head. Do you understand? And, and I don't want no one coming on there saying, oh, why is it okay that men sleep around and then when women do, they get vilified? Again, as I said, you cannot do as a man and expect to be treated like a woman. End of story, point blank, period. Yeah? From the days of the Bible, women were called prostitutes. So it's not nothing new. Men have never been called prostitutes. Do you understand? So you just don't do it. Have a little respect for your crutches. Have a little respect. You understand? Have a little respect for all the spiritual, encounters that you're allowing your body to experience. Have some respect for that. Do you understand? So anyway, I'm not trying to make these podcasts go into 45 minutes, 1 hour. I just want people to just, when they're driving to work, on the train, whatever, just listen to the things that I'm saying. And I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I should have been. I ain't any of them things. I'm just somebody that genuinely just cares about my people, innit? Yeah, so sisters, what we've got to do is just stop. As I said, stop with a capital S. Stop trying to be everyone and everything under the sun and start standing in our own true, authentic power. Maybe when we start to stand in our own true, authentic power, source and being, maybe then the rest of the world, including our men, will start to show us a little bit of respect, a little bit of that respect that we demand. Just maybe. And it's not just even just a maybe, guaranteed that if we start to stand in our own true, authentic powers, it's never too late. Don't feel like, because I was this, because I was that, because I've done this, because I've done that, I can't change my life, I can't turn my life around. It's never too late. You can start today, sister. It's never too late. You get me? Stand for something, be something, respect yourself, respect your children. Do you understand? Yeah, and, as I said, once we start to, stand in our own true, authentic power, respecting ourselves, having love for ourselves, then, maybe we can start to respect and demand that from the rest of the world. But I don't feel that we're in the position to be doing that right now because we don't respect ourselves. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to keep on ranting. That was just my rant of the day. And, if you find my content valuable, sorry, I did start there. Just please like it, share it, leave a comment or a question. And you could also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more visuals over there. So yeah, just support the cause, guys, and stay tuned. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I'll be back, God willing, next week. Take care until then. Love and peace. Bye.